There are quite possibly endless ways to present your design work, but this way might be one of the fastest, most simple, and effective ways that I've ever come across. Today I'm going to show you how to build this portfolio presentation wall in Walling and give you all the tips and tricks along the way. The first tip being that you can do everything that I'm going to show you today for free right now in Walling. So follow along if you'd like. All right, let's get started with a blank wall. This portfolio wall is going to be for our friend Carla, so I'm going to title the wall Carla Anderson. Before we get started building the content, I'm actually just going to change some of the wall customizations. I know Carla is a big fan of black in general, so I'm going to make this sort of a dark theme overall. So we're going to go to colors. I'm going to make the wall background a dark black, not completely black, but pretty close. And then I'm going to leave the rest of the colors on auto for now. Let's change some fonts real quick. I'm going to do Playfair display for all the title fonts. And then let's do Enter for the body font. Okay, now we can get started on the cover layout. So let's turn that on. Okay, for this one, we're going to be utilizing the wide cover style. So I'm going to find myself a cover photo using the unsplash search function, which is super nifty. Black architecture. And this one. And Carla doesn't have a logo per se, but she does have a nice headshot. So I'm actually going to go ahead and upload that for the logo. Okay. Then I'm going to change the logo size to small. The alignment is good. And on top of the cover, yes, that's perfect. The last thing I'm going to do the cover is actually just make it shorter because it's just a bit too tall right now. We don't really need all of that. It's mostly just a texture element, you know? So, okay, I'm going to add a description to the wall so that we can add her UI and UX designer designation. And then I also want to get rid of this wall icon here, which we can do by going under miscellaneous in the customizations and turning off the wall icon. I'm also going to turn off the section header borders just to make it a bit more clean. All right, now we can jump into the first section. The first thing that I'm going to do is customize the section title to be not collapsible and then hide the heading. So it won't even show up on the published version, which we can take a look at right now and make sure everything looks good, and it does. So far. So let's get started with our first layout. You can build your own, of course, or you can use the select layout to find something that might be close to what you're thinking to get you a bit of a head start. I'm going to go with this one for the first piece here. Add another headshot that she gave me. And then I've got all of the copy on my left screen here, so I'm just going to start copy and pasting that in. Little headline, and then some body copy, and then I'm going to make this headline here actually a lot bigger. So, all right, I've got one more piece of copy I want to add, but I want to kind of break it up a little bit more from the main paragraph there, so I'm going to put it in a quote block. Okay, then I'm going to right-click on the brick to change the background to transparent, and then we're going to increase the height of this photo. I'm actually going to add some spaces here too, just to break this up a little bit more. It's a little bit too close together. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Oh yeah, looks good. Next up, we've got 3 more bricks of content for the bottom here. Got some skills, which I'm going to do a bulleted list for. And then tools. Also do a bulleted list for that. And then a quote. Good design is indeed harder to notice than poor design, that's for sure. And then I'm going to remove the background on all of these. Okay. I think I'm going to put the quote here. Tools there, and then make this photo a little bit more taller so that the bricks line up a bit better. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so a little bit shorter. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, the next section will be her work experience. And to break it up from the previous background, I'm actually gonna add a green background to it. Before I forget, we're gonna customize the section to not be collapsible and to hide the heading. I'm gonna do this layout. 12 plus years of experience. 100, oops. 100 plus projects completed. And 45 plus satisfied clients. Okay, let's take a look at it. Yeah, already pretty good. Okay. Next section is going to be dedicated to the companies she's worked with. So I'm going to hide the heading and make it not collapsible. And then we're going to go with, we can start with this one. So I don't need this brick. Delete that. Expand this one to the full width. Do proud to have worked with. Then we're going to center this. Then I'm going to upload my logo file. So there's actually more logos here than you can see. So all we have to do is just shrink it to fit all of them like that. Perfect. I think I'm actually going to add another brick here between these two just to put a bit more buffer between the content pieces. Yeah, I like that more. Next section will actually have a section title and I'm going to add a description as well. Here, Carla wants to link out to her dribble, so I'm actually just going to highlight that, go to link, paste in the link, and underline it as well, just so it's a bit more obvious that it is a link. For this one, I'm going to start with 4 photos across the top. So I'm going to drag and drop my photos in real quick and make this 4 columns instead of 3. And then we just got to adjust the height of the photos to match each other. Then I'm going to add some text to sort of break up the photos a bit. I'm going to do that good design quote again. Make this into a title. And get rid of that. And I'll put one more brick next to it with the quote itself. Remove the background on these 2 bricks. And then 3 more photos below it. For this first one, I'm going to make this actually the full width of the page. Move this back up here. And then these 2 I'm going to do half and half. Let's see, let's do maybe about that tall. Yeah, should be good. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yeah, looks good. Last section is going to be a contact section, so I'm going to remove the collapsibility and hide the heading, and then I'm going to make the background gray to sort of break it up a bit. Let's see which layout. This layout should work well. Upload our last image. And then make this contact. I'm gonna make this a bit bigger too. Let's do title. Yeah. First gonna add a bit of a sign off, and then she wants a link for a phone number, an email, and Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So I'm gonna add the text real quick and then I'll do the links. Okay. Now to link for a telephone number, all you gotta do is do TEL colon followed by the number. That way, if someone clicks on it on their phone, it'll redirect them to calling, or if they have some application on their computer to which they can do so, it'll redirect them to that as well. For email, it's the same thing, but just mail to instead of TEL followed by a colon and then the email. And that will redirect them to a email client with the email already preloaded into a new email, that kind of thing. Then I'll just add the rest of the links here. Okay. And to finalize it, the last thing she wants is a copyright line. So I'm going to do a divider first, then all rights reserved, Carla Anderson, copyright symbol 2023. And then I'm going to remove the background off the brick. Then we are done. Let's go take a look at it on the real live web. Oh, I did forget to remove the sidebar, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Under customize, published wall, we can do no sidebar navigation. And there we go. Great. All right. Looks good. Looks good. And that is all you need to do to make a portfolio wall presentation. And more importantly, this page that we just designed here is completely responsive. So, if your client is looking at it on their phone, the web page will completely respond and be just as viewable on the phone or no matter where they're looking at it. So obviously this is a pretty simple generic wall, whereas, say you make yourself one generic one, but you also want to make, a specific one for a specific client looking for a certain service, you can take that as your base design and iterate new versions on it that are targeted towards them, or, have tailored content that's relevant to your proposal. And yeah, you can do all that pretty quickly. And while we used just photos here in this example, Walling works with many different file formats, videos, GIFs, PDFs, Word documents, Excel sheets, you name it. I hope this example gave you some inspiration. And like I said, everything that you saw today is completely free to do on Walling right now. So go give it a try. Design your own wall. And if you do, please share it in the comments because we would love to see your guys' designs. So that is it for me. Until next time, have a good one.